Alan Wake might be the next chapter to join the fog, and today we're going to look at some fantastic concepts to explore what this chapter could look like. Kings and queens, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day and you're doing well. Tomorrow we are going to be getting a new chapter that's going to be a survivor that's by themselves, a solo survivor. And there's been a lot of speculation on who this survivor could be. I've had a bet with Polyester saying that this potentially could be original, but I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the signs and a lot of the evidence is pointing that this is gonna be licensed and no other than Alan Wake. In case you missed it, Dead by Daylight posted a little bit of a teaser, and essentially they showed a flashlight flickering in the fog. This can easily be correlated with Alan Wake, as the flashlight's the main tool that he uses, and if you just Google Alan Wake, you can see him in blue fog with his flashlight. It's almost copy-paste what they've done. Now, the only stipulation to this is that Dead by Daylight also talked about a lights out game mode or game modifier, which essentially could mean that that could be a tease to this instead and we still get an original chapter. However, there's a lot of other evidence from this mini teaser that kind of points towards Alan Wake. Some theories that I've heard that are a little bit more strung up together, and take these with a grain of salt because nothing is officially confirmed, is that A, the flashlight is actually giving Morse code. I don't know, I haven't confirmed this, but there's been multiple people on Twitter that says that they basically went through the Morse code and it actually spells out Alan W. I'm not too sure about this, but we have to wait and see exactly what ends up happening. There's also a typewriter font that is used with this, which is very similar to the stuff that's used in Alan Wake. There's papers on the table, which again correlates to Alan Wake looking at the papers, and then there are triangles in the flashlights and some handcuffs in the background, so there's a lot of evidence pointing towards Alan Wake being the new survivor. With that being said, I wanted to take a look at some of the fan-made concepts that you guys have created to potentially see what this could look like in-game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the concepts. All the creator links will be down below. Alright, so here is the first concept. We actually have some cosmetics that can come out as well, which is Nightmare Monster and Barry Wheeler, which is pretty cool. I definitely think we're going to see a lot of cosmetics if they decide to do this. Let's take a look at some of these perks. The first one is Writer's Influence. Alright. You take inspiration from the bold characters you write to life and death. After rescuing a survivor from the killer's shoulder, the rescued survivor's scratch marks, pools of blood, and grunts of pain are hidden for 12 seconds. You become the obsession. The rescued survivor can see your aura and you can see theirs. This aura reading lasts until either you or the rescued survivor enter the dying state. This isn't too bad. I definitely can see a perk like this coming into the fog. It makes sense. I like it. There's a little bit of a stipulation getting that survivor off, so you really won't get a lot of use out of this perk. Maybe if it's like a protection hit and then that person ends up wiggling out, this can work, but nonetheless, I like the concept. The next one is Fight with Light. Makes sense. You push the darkness back at every opportunity, dealing maximum pain in the process. Blinding effects from your items and perks have their brightness and duration by 20%. After a successful killer blind, the killer's hearing is muffled by 100% of the blind duration. So essentially, this is going to make flashlights way stronger. It makes sense. It's lore accurate. So using that flashlight, being a little bit brighter, muffling sound. So that way, if you do get flashlighted, you'll hear nothing. Whenever I get flashlighted, I try to listen to where the survivor's running to try to follow them. But if you're hearing absolutely nothing, this can be actually quite a strong perk for evasion. I can see it coming into the game. Finally, the last perk on this concept is Look for the Light. You know there's a long journey through the night back into the light. For each generator you complete, you gain a token. The range of Look for the Light increases by 4, 6, and 8 meters for each token, starting at 0 meters. You and your allies within the range recover from the blindness, broken, exhausted, exposed, hemorrhage, hindered, oblivious, and incapacitated status effect 15% faster. Nice. You also mend yourself and other survivors 25% faster. You cleanse, bless, totems, unlock chests, and open exits 15% faster. And these effects are doubled when you are standing within 4 meters of a completed generator. Survivors can only be affected by one Look for the Light effect at a time. Once you're out of range, the effect pre-exists for 15 seconds. Wow. So Essentially, this is like the opposite of the killer perk when you're in the light. Batteries included, I believe. The one for Chucky. I'm not sure exactly the name. And it's beneficial for the survivors. I can see this working. This is a strong one too. Basically, everything that you do is buffed up. Again, I can see that this can definitely work in the game. Maybe a little fine-tuning with the numbers, but overall, this concept is absolutely fantastic. Shout out to the creator, link down below. I like this. This is cool. And we can kind of see the concept that they're going for with the lights here, which is really nice. And writer's influence, a lot of canon stuff, which is nice. Hopefully, if this is the case, we get some perks like this because these look pretty damn good. Okay, let's take a look at the next concept. So we got some character info on this one as well, which is nice. In case you don't know about Alan Wake, you can read up on it. I personally didn't know before, so this is kind of nice. The first one is called Master of Light. Again, sticking with that light theme, which is nice. It says, having to fight dark entities with light has taught you a thing or two about light preservation. Each time you complete a totem cleanse action, Master of Light allows you to drop a blinding flare on the floor for 12 seconds. Okay, so this one is kind of like a item or a firecracker, whatever the case is, party starter, and it will last for 12 seconds. That can actually be really, really, really good. I mean, I can see it working. I definitely can. 12 seconds is a little bit excessive, but I mean, it sounds good. I like the idea. All right, the next perk that we have here is called the Clicker. Your mother gave you this light switch to you as a child to scare away monsters. The Clicker activates after repairing generators for a total of 60, 55, and 50 seconds. When repairing a generator, while the perk is active, press the active ability button to overwork the generator, blocking the generator and blinding nearby killers. Affected generators will be revealed by a white aura to all survivors. Okay, so this is another trap kind of perk that we've seen before. Essentially, if a killer is coming by, you can literally pretty much blow it up, essentially, and then the killer will get blind. I like it. This is a cool concept. I never really thought about a perk like this. It's kind of like Blast Mine, but you don't have to kick. You can just activate it, and I guess if anyone's in that radius, you're getting blind. It doesn't say including yourself, so we'll see how that one goes, but it's a nice concept overall. Very similar to Blast Mine, though, but I can see the thought process behind it. The final perk on this list is Generator Technician. You have masters starting up generators safely to protect yourself from the darkness. Generator Technician becomes active after repairing the equivalent of 3, 2.5, and 2 full generators. When repairing a generator while the perk is active, press the active ability button to mark the generator. Once the generator is repaired, the 2 closest generators will be revealed. This one's okay. There's a lot of perks in there that already kind of do stuff like that, which is alright. It's more of the lackluster perk of the group, and that's typically how perks work in Dead by Daylight. Overall, I like the idea, I like the concepts. The Clicker is definitely my favorite out of this one. Again, another beautiful concept done. Shout out to the creator, link down below. Alright, so here we go. The final concept. This one has a lot of more quotes in it, and we have some character bios, which is quite nice. Let's take a look at those perks. The first one we have is Burn Away the Darkness. A flashlight feels at home in your hand. Flashlights are now slightly, moderately, and considerably more effective against killers. Okay, so we don't necessarily know what that entails. I'm assuming they mean like brightness-wise, kind of like you're basically running a flashlight with more add-ons, so I guess that's kind of what they're going for here. So I can respect it, I can dig it. Something buffing up the flashlights, it just makes sense. The next one is Follow the Light. You know to follow the light. When within 12 meters of a power generator, you gain the ability to heal yourself without a medkit at 90% the normal healing speed. While within 12 meters, your aura is also hidden from the killer. Okay, I like it. Another one that deals with the generators and the lights of the generators. That's pretty cool. I like the concept that a few people have now used, and I think this will be really good, especially since Killer has a perk like this. Why not Survivors, you know? The final one is the Clicker. Again, recurring names here, but I like it. You have fought the darkness for a long time, and you know its weakness. When the exit gates are powered, the killer is blinded for 2 seconds, and your scratch marks are hidden for 6 seconds. So basically, as soon as you power the exit gates, the killer's just going to be blind. for 2 seconds. That's kind of funny. I like the concept. I like these ones where the killer just gets blinded out of nowhere. Obviously, this will be a little bit incredibly frustrating for some of the killers, but fun concepts nonetheless to play around with. But there you go, guys. That is pretty much some of the concepts for Alan Wake potentially coming into Dead by Daylight. Tomorrow, we'll fully know if this character is going to be joining the Fog, and that's going to be some pretty exciting stuff. So stay tuned for that. We will be live on Twitch tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, ready for that PTP for whatever that entails. And we're going to be streaming for a long time, so please come on out. We're back to streaming. We're back to, you know, fully putting my foot down. I know I always say it, and I know I always say this as well, but I really do mean it this time. We'll see you guys there. Hopefully, you guys have a fun time on the PTP. I'm going to head back to Apex now, trying to grind out some ranked. That's going to do it for me. As always, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the Fog.